In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. I congratulate the birthday of Lady Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam to all of you. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum ajmain.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon each and every one of us many blessings, countless blessings. And one of those blessings was and is the presence of infallible godly role models. And they're people who devote their life to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and serve Allah's people who do everything for Allah. Each of these infallibles serve as excellent role models for humanity. The greatest role model which Allah gave to all of humanity is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum ajmain.
And a man who was Rasulullah's self, Nafsun Nabi, and the 11 Imams. And also we have the Lady of Light, the sweet, the pure, purified, pious Lady Fatima Zahra, salawatullah salamu alayha.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
Who was without a doubt not only a role model for women, but she was also a role model for men. Yes, she is known as Sayyidatun Nisa al-Alameen, the mistress of the women of the world. But when we look at her biography, when we look at her teachings, the lessons that she taught human beings, we realize that Fatima Zahra is an excellent example, an excellent role model for all people. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned in many occasions the virtues and the excellence of Fatima Zahra. And in one of his traditions he said, Fatima is Ruhi, allati bayna janabi. She is the spirit that lies between my two sides. So Amir al-Mu'mineen is the Nafsi Rasul, and Fatima Zahra is the Ruh al-Nabi.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Zahra alayhi salam is a role model for humanity, and especially for the youth. She had a very short life, as she was martyred when she was just 18 years old. But her short life is compacted with so many lessons, with morals, and here Fatima Zahra teaches us a very important lesson, especially for the youth. I'm going to be telling 6 lessons for the youth from the life of Fatima Zahra.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
The first lesson which we derived from the age of Fatima Zahra is that the actions a human being performs in his life are more important than the duration of his lifespan. Fatima Zahra had a really short life, but she did really good deeds and she left really good effects on people. So we're also able to do really good deeds. So this is one lesson we derive from the life of the Lady of Light, Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha. This lesson should make each one of us ask himself or herself, what will I do during my lifespan? What am I going to do in my life? What kind of deed can I perform which will leave a positive, beautiful effect on at least an amount of people, if not a whole society? Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
If this deed which we perform leaves a very good effect on people, it will greatly benefit us in the akhirah, in the other world. Syeda Zahra left many lessons for us. And you want to say she left behind many positive effects. Let me mention one. One of them is her tasbih. You can consider tasbih Zahra to be an effect of who? Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. Millions and billions and trillions of people recite the tasbih Zahra after their prayers, right? And they get rewarded for their tasbih. Imam Baqir alayhi salam
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants you 1,000 good deeds when you recite tasbih Zahra. So 1,000 gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we receive from reciting tasbih Zahra. But who is the one who gave this tasbih to us? Fatima Zahra. So for each person who recites Tasbih Zahra, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala compensates the Lady of Light. He gives more and more and more rewards to Syeda Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha.
Allah.
The next lesson which we can learn, or we should learn from the Lady Zahra is to cherish your parents and treat them in the best manner. Janabi Syeda Fatima Zahra is widely known for how she used to cherish and treat her father, the Rasulullah. She would take such great care of her father that he would call her Abiha, which means the mother of her father. On many occasions at a young age, Fatima Zahra would care for her father after he had been harassed or attacked by others. The third lesson is one main trait that we see when we look at the life of Syeda Zahra alayhi salam is that she would share the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon her with the fellow human beings she was extremely generous with. All the Imams are generous, but Fatima Zahra revealed her generosity in a marvelous manner. Syeda Zahra taught us to give to others what you love for yourself, and even when you may be in need yourself. Throughout the life of Janabi Fatima Zahra, she would put the needs of others before herself. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah.
For example, in the very famous story which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned in the Quran, it was when Syeda Fatima, Imam Ali and Hasnain alayhi salam all fasted for 3 consecutive days, and on each night someone in need would come to their door asking for food, and each night they would give what they had, leaving themselves hungry. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings down the Surah Insan to praise the Ahlul Bayt. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى خُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَعَسِيرًا إِنَّمَا نُطْعِمُكُمْ لِوَجْهِ اللَّهِ لَا نُرِيدُ مِنْكُمْ جَزَاءً وَلَا شُكُورًا. And they give food out of love for him to the poor and the orphan and the captive, saying, we only feed you for Allah's sake, we do not want any reward from you nor any thanks. From this we learn to help others without the intention of rewards from them, but for the sake of Allah. On another occasion, on the wedding day of Syeda Fatima, she donated her wedding dress to a woman in need. It is said that she quoted this verse of the Quran when asked why in Surah Ali Imran verse 92. You will never attain piety till you spend from that which you love. For the well-being of others before yourself. Imam al-Hassan narrates that he would hear his mother late at night praying for all the believing men and women without praying for herself. Upon asking her why, the Lady Fatima said, "O my son, the neighbor first and then the house." This is a crucial lesson for us living in the modern world. With the rise of individualism, we may sometimes forget to care for our neighbors and community members. It is essential for us to follow the message of Syeda Fatima Zahra and pray for the well-being of the Muslim Ummah.
Allahumma salli ala.
The fifth lesson we learn from the life of the Janabi Fatima Zahra is the value of motherhood. Without Lady Zahra's role as a mother, there is no connection between prophethood and imamah. As a mother, Lady Fatima's influence was not limited to her own doings, but also the acts of the pure infallibles from her lineage. Sometimes we forget to value the mothers in our lives, and on a wider scale, the community. Especially in recent times, it has been found that often women who are stay-at-home mothers are looked down upon, while in fact they are doing one of the greatest services for society. And the last but not least, Syeda Fatima Zahra taught us to stand up for justice in your community. Shortly after the death of the Holy Prophet, the rights of inheritance of Fatima al-Zahra were taken away. In response, Lady Fatima al-Zahra delivered a famous sermon condemning the injustice. This was not for her own worldly gain, but to uphold justice and declare her rights. Yes, Fatima al-Zahra taught us about women rights. The lessons from this stance are critical as they highlight to us that maintaining justice is critical and should never be overlooked. She taught us to stand with the truth. She taught us to defend the wilaya. She taught us how to support and work for Imam-e-Zamana, no matter what the circumstances could be. We, the Muslim youth, can only achieve and elevate a social and spiritual position in this society by following the conduct of Syeda Fatima Zahra salamu alayha as a role model. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to follow the teachings of Syeda Fatima Zahra and make her pleased with us, so that we will be successful in both the dunya and akhirah. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
اللهم صل على